4.2 Conversation 1.
Where's my milk? It's not here.
I haven't seen it. You must have finished it.
I definitely didn't finish it. I was keeping some for my cereal this morning. You must have used it.
Me? I never take anything from the refrigerator that isn't mine. You might have given it to the cat last night and then forgotten about it.
The cat drinks water, not milk, so I couldn't have given it to the cat. Last night there was half a carton of milk in the refrigerator. My milk.
Well, I don't know what happened to it.
What are you drinking?
Just coffee.
Yes, white coffee. That's where my milk went. Well, you can go to the supermarket and get me some more.
Okay, calm down. I'll go and get you some milk.
Conversation 2.
At the traffic circle, take the second exit.
Why are you taking the third exit? She said the second exit.
I'm sure it's this one. I remember when we came here last time.
According to that sign, this is Sunrise Highway.
Sunrise Highway? Oh, no. We must have gone the wrong way.
Of course we've gone the wrong way. We should have taken the second exit at the traffic circle. What's the point of having a GPS if you don't do what it says?
Okay, I may have made a mistake. But if you knew the way to your cousin's house, then we wouldn't have to use the GPS.
Turn around as soon as possible.
4.3 1,
You must have finished it.
2,
You might have given it to the cat last night.
3,
I couldn't have given it to the cat.
4,
Oh, no. We must have gone the wrong way.
5,
We should have taken the second exit at the traffic circle.
6,
Okay, I may have made a mistake.
4.4 1,
I must have left my phone at Anna's. I definitely remember having it there.
You must have seen something. You were there when the accident happened.
2,
Somebody might have stolen your wallet when you were getting off the train.
He still hasn't arrived. I may not have given him the right directions.
3,
She couldn't have gone to bed. It's only 10 o'clock.
You couldn't have seen their faces very clearly. It was too dark.
4.5
We're going the wrong way. We shouldn't have turned left at the traffic light.
It's my fault. I should have told you earlier that my mother was coming.
4.6 1,
You must have finished it.
2,
You might have given it to the cat last night.
3,
I couldn't have given it to the cat.
4,
Oh, no. We must have gone the wrong way.
5,
We should have taken the second exit at the traffic circle.
6,
Okay, I may have made a mistake.
4.7
In life, we sometimes have disagreements with people. It could be with your partner, with your boss, with your parents, or with a friend. When this happens, the important thing is to try not to let a difference of opinion turn into a heated argument. But, of course, it's easier said than done. The first thing I would say is that the way you begin the conversation is very important. Imagine you're a student and you share an apartment with another student who you think isn't helping out with the housework. If you say, "Look, you never help out with the housework. What are we going to do about it?" the discussion will turn into an argument. It's much more constructive to say something like, "I think we'd better take another look at how we divide up the housework. Maybe there's a better way of doing it." My second piece of advice is simple. If you're the person who's in the wrong, just admit it. This is the easiest and best way to avoid an argument. Just apologize to your roommate, your parents, or your husband, and move on. The other person will have much more respect for you if you do that. The next tip is don't exaggerate. Try not to say things like, "You always come home late when my mother comes to dinner," when maybe this has only happened once before, or "You never remember to buy the toothpaste." This will just make the other person get very defensive, because what you're saying about them just isn't true. If you follow these tips, you just might be able to avoid an argument. But if an argument does start, it's important to keep things under control, and there are ways to do this. The most important thing is not to raise your voice. Raising your voice will just make the other person lose their temper too. If you find yourself raising your voice, stop for a moment and take a deep breath. Say, "I'm sorry I shouted, but this is very important to me," and continue calmly. If you can talk calmly and quietly, you'll find the other person will be more ready to think about what you're saying. It's also very important to stick to the point. Try to stay on the topic you're talking about. Don't bring up old arguments or try to bring in other issues. Just concentrate on solving the one problem you're having and leave the other things for another time. So, for example, if you're arguing about the housework, don't start talking about cell phone bills too. And my final tip is that if necessary, call time out, like in a basketball game. If you think that an argument is getting out of control, then you can say to the other person, "Listen, I'd rather talk about this tomorrow when we've both calmed down." You can then continue talking about it the next day, when maybe both of you are feeling less tense and angry. That way, there's a better chance that you'll be able to reach an agreement. You'll also probably find that the problem is much easier to solve when you've both had a good night's sleep. But I want to say one last thing that I think is very important. Some people think that arguing is always bad, but that isn't true. Conflict is a normal part of life, and dealing with conflict is an important part of any relationship, whether it's 3 people sharing an apartment, a married couple, or just 2 good friends. If you don't learn to argue constructively, then when a real problem comes along, you won't be prepared to face it together. Think of the smaller arguments as training sessions. Learn how to argue cleanly and fairly. It will help your relationship become stronger and last longer.
4.8. 1.
But of course, it's easier said than done.
2.
If you're the person who's in the wrong, just admit it.
3.
It's important to keep things under control.
4.
Raising your voice will just make the other person lose their temper too.
5.
Stop for a moment and take a deep breath.
6.
It's also very important to stick to the point.
7.
There's a better chance that you'll be able to reach an agreement.
8.
Dealing with conflict is an important part of any relationship.
4.9. Verbs often confused. 1.
I need to discuss the problem with my boss.
2.
I often argue with my parents about doing housework.
3.
I didn't realize you were so unhappy.
4.
I didn't notice that Karen had changed her hair color.
5.
Jack always tries to avoid arguing with me.
6.
My dad can't prevent me from seeing my friends.
7.
I've spoken to her husband twice, and he seems very nice.
8.
Carol doesn't look very well. I think she's working too hard.
9.
My parents don't mind if I stay out late.
10.
It doesn't matter if we are 5 minutes late.
11.
Can you remind me to call my mom later?
12.
Remember to turn off the lights before you go.
13.
I expect that Daniel will forget our anniversary. He always does.
14.
We'll have to wait half an hour for the next train.
15.
I wish I were a little taller.
16.
I hope that you can come on Friday. I haven't seen you for ages.
17.
The Dallas Cowboys won the game 28-10.
18.
The Dallas Cowboys beat the New York Jets 28-10.
19.
Tom always refuses to discuss the problem.
20.
Tom always denies that he has a problem.
21.
The cost of living is going to rise again this month.
22.
It's hard not to raise your voice when you're arguing with someone.
23.
Last night, I came home and lay on the sofa and went to sleep.
24.
I laid the baby on the bed and changed his diaper.
25.
The men had been planning to rob the bank.
26.
If you leave your bike unlocked, somebody might steal it.
27.
I think I should warn you that Liam doesn't always tell the truth.
28.
My teachers are going to advise me on what subjects to study next year.